Now, traders anticipate improved liquidity in Nigeria's money market this week, which will be driven by maturing automobiles worth about 226 billion naira and bond coupon payments of over 94 billion naira. And I have Choma Udu. She's a forex dealer at GT Bank. She joins me now to discuss what the sentiments for investors are in the fixed income and FX markets today. Thank you so much for your time, Choma. And let's start first with that liquidity situation. And I would like to get your thoughts on how likely it will play out for the rest of the week.
Okay, thank you for having me. Opening this week, the Naira liquidity was up about 440 billion. This includes the 45 billion coupon payments as well you said in the opening, which traded in that space at 0.5%. Today we have almost maturity of about 202 billion, making the money market up over 700 billion. Barring any immediate funding needs, rates traded at about 0.25%. We expect the money market rates to remain at this low level with settlement for the bond auctions we have tomorrow and maybe provisions for retail auction.
All right, but Choma, where are investors finding value in the fixed income market this week? We saw some buy interest in the January to April OMO papers yesterday. Are we likely to see that continue?
Pardon?
Yes, I'm asking where investors can find value in the fixed income markets this week.
Okay, well, for fixed income, I think there's going to be some value in the bond space. We expect that interest rates will trend up a little at the bond auctions we have today. We expect that the rates will trend up to where the rates are trading in the market at about 7 to up to 9%. Bearing in mind that inflation is currently at 15.8, what investors are getting for fixed income now is a negative return. The movement in rates is more gradual than anticipated, and there's a likelihood that yield may not trend up as fast as the market has anticipated. So what we're going to see is a lot of anticipation at the bond auctions tomorrow, where investors will try and just speculate and trade high deals, hoping that high rates, hoping that they will get value from that space.
All right, but Choma, looking at that bond auction tomorrow, how do you think sentiment will compare with previous auctions?
The sentiment is that we're going to see a lot of interest in investors and expect that rates will trend up. We expect that there's going to be less of speculative rates trading at that auction. High rates, hoping that it will come out at a higher bid, but we expect that rates will generally trend up. The bond auction is across three tenors, 150 and offer, and then the 50 billion across the 2027, 2035, and 2045. Like I already mentioned, the expect that rates will trend up to match the trading at the market today, which is currently at the range of 7% to 9%.
But let's look at what we can expect from the MPC next week. We saw what played out with inflation, like you rightly mentioned. Do you think that's going to play a large influence into the MPC's decision-making process come next week?
Pardon? Say that again. I didn't hear you.
Yeah, your expectations for MPC next week and how much you think the inflation data we saw earlier will play out in influencing the decisions of the MPC?
Well, investors are going to be looking at expectation of rates trending up. Like I already said, inflation is about 15% and above. And for investors, anybody investing in the fixed income space now is a negative return. So they're going to try and close that gap. Although the gap is not closing as fast as we hope, but we expect that rates will gradually trend up.
Now let's get into what you expect from the currency market and what trends we're going to see investors, especially in the import and export windows, play out as well, and also what we're going to expect from the parallel markets.
In recent times, the central bank has supported the I&E window with still, and we expect that will continue. But for now, we don't have a lot of liquidity in the system. This is in the market. This is currently trading at a high of 415, and then Nasdaq 16 is currently at 394 levels. they expect that the central bank will continue to supply liquidity in that space. However, they've been consistent with the supply of FX for invisible and SME.
All right, but what about the external reserves, and what are you looking at the current, what's your outlook for the Naira?
Well, we try to look at some sort of accretion at the external reserve, currently at 36 billion. The central bank has said that they continue to support the Naira, and they've done that in their intervention. So we hope that we're going to see more liquidity coming to the system from the central bank and other FX windows.